I was told that I shouldn't be a producer because it wasn't going to make me enough money, because I wouldn't be able to make a difference. But I continued to pursue it because I'm making a difference.
Hey everyone, it's Neffy Anderson and I'm here at the CBS Broadcast Studios with a brand new episode of The Path Less Traveled. Today's guest is Nneka Onuorah, who's a filmmaker and TV producer. Now, where do you know her from? Where do I know her from? Well, most of you guys may have seen her in the credits for some of your favorite BET specials, such as Black Girls Rock, or you may have read about her in the Huffington Post for her recent documentary called The Same Difference. Nneka, we're so happy to have you. Welcome.
Turn up, turn up.
Turn up, turn up. So you're so inspiring. We love how vulnerable you are and how driven you are. You are the ultimate go-getter. So let's start from the beginning. Let's talk about the opportunities that you created for yourself that led to your big break.
Well, the opportunities that led to my big break came from me actually being a rebellious teenager and thinking like, okay, I'm going to get out of high school, I'm going to go and I'm going to get a job and I'm going to make money. I don't need school. But then the company I was working for, they shut down and I was like, I have to do something with myself. You know, I have to go back to school so that I can get a good job. Right. So I go to college, and in college I end up taking an internship class and I just was like, I'll pick whatever's on the first page. BT Networks was on the first page and I was like, let me try to apply. My school was like, BT never answers the phone. So this one time on the first ring, BT answered the phone and I went in for an internship interview and I got the internship. And I interned for Stephen Hill, who's the president of music programming at BT and is also like a current mentor of mine and friend. He gave me an opportunity to intern for him and I just learned from him. I sat in all these big executive meetings and I was the intern, so I set up the call and I took the notes. And every time I went, I would sit and I would look at the language they were speaking because I didn't know television jargon. I'm like, what are they talking about? This rating and Nielsen and this and that. Right. So I would go home, take all the notes that I wrote for Steven, type them up, send it to him, and take the notes and go look up the definitions of all the words. Right. So when I would go back to the executive meetings, I would know what they were talking about. And once I learned what they were talking about, they asked me a question when they were debating about a music video one time, and based on how, eloquently I answered the question, I was offered a job that same day within a month in my internship.
What? That's amazing. So lesson to everyone out there is do your homework. No, seriously, do your homework. So besides that, what would you say you did to deliberately brand yourself?
Ooh, okay, so branding myself was very important. I was working in television for a while and I was like, I need to have people know my name. I don't want it to be, oh, that girl who always wears the hat or that girl who does this. People were referring to me as that girl that, because I was known for my hard work, but people didn't know how to either pronounce my name, they have a problem pronouncing my name, or just knowing my name, period. So I was like, we're at a lot of social events, so I'm going to start putting my name on my hat because I always wear a hat. And people will look at my hat, but my hat will have my name on it. So it will be no excuse for anybody not to know my name. So I started branding my name on my hat, and I actually went on a motivational speaking tour to different schools when work was down at the beginning of the year, and I did an acronym of my name, and it was Never Needing Excuses, Keep Achieving, which is what Nneka stood for at the motivational speaking tour. And I went to, FAMU, and I went to NYU, and I went to Purchase College, and I went to, different places and spoke about what my name meant and the mark that I was trying to leave on the world, and it kind of helped me brand myself.
That's amazing. I think that worked because, I know your name, and I always know that I know because you have it on the hat, and I see that you have the name of your documentary on the hat, so you're doing the same thing. Look Absolutely. At you. Look at you. So what would you say is one thing that most people don't know about your journey to where you are today?
I think what most people may not know about my journey is that I put in a lot of extra work. You know, I didn't just do...
You don't think that they know that? Okay, all right. Let me hear this one.
I didn't just, you know, do what I was told. I always went above and beyond. So when I interned, instead of doing what they just told me to do, I would go work on 2 other shows. And then if somebody was sitting in the edit till 3 o'clock in the morning, I went to the edit and I was like, can I just sit here and I'll watch you? Can I take notes? I did that. Once I was hired, you know, a lot of people don't know, I started a junior executive board, the very first one at BT Networks and at Viacom, where I started getting millennials from all different assets of the company. So I had PR, I had .com, I had marketing, and I took everybody who was a millennial and helped the company understand what the audience wanted, because we were the age of the targeted demo. So I took everyone, we had a meeting, we put together a business plan, and we went to the executives and we were like, listen, we want to be your eyes and your ears to the streets, almost like a street team, to help us be more connected to our audience, because we are essentially the audience, except we work here.
Right.
So we put that together, and, you know, Stephen Hill and Reginald Williams, you know, helped mentor us, and we went to different departments, and, you know, we put together different social media initiatives and, you know, helped each department, which helped build our relationships with, you know, cross-platform, and helped us grow and understand how the business worked at large.
Right. Awesome. Wow, that's amazing. That's you? So I remember when I was an intern here, I'm just like, you know, I remember they had like shirts and all that. So, okay, look at you. So, you know, I feel like a large, I think maybe, you know, a large problem that people may have is just that they want to put forth their best, but then they worried about the paycheck. So how did you continue to go above and beyond, do your job and somebody else's job and a little bit more on top of that, and then not feel, you know, some type of way, whatever, you know what I mean, fill in the blank, some type of way about, you know, just, you know, maybe not getting recognized as quickly as you would like, or not having your paycheck reflect the hours that you put in, or maybe not even having people see what you were doing, because, you know, a lot of this stuff could take place at home or just after hours. No one knows.
I think it's very imperative that you do something that you love. And I think that's what helped me, because I loved entertainment.
Right.
Once I got into television, I was like, I love this. Like, so it wasn't an effort for me to stay extra hours. I want to do this. That's why you do something that you want to do, because in a career, you're going to invest a lot of time. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to invest a lot of time, you want to say, this is something I want to do for the long term. 2, you have to enjoy the journey. Like, people want to get rich so fast and do this and do that, but the journey is the best part. When you have to move from LA to New York, and you got to sleep on the floor with your friends, and you guys are all hustling at different, you know, companies. Your friend might be at WeTV, you're at ABC, somebody else is at MTV, somebody's at a music label, and then you're all going through your own particular things, but then you grow, and now everyone's an exec, and now it's like, how can we help each other out? But once you get there, that's the boring part. The journey of getting there is fun. It's almost like being in high school, and then when you get to the real world, you're like, oh.
Yes.
So a lot of people always want what they don't have, but it's like, you know, you got to enjoy the journey, and it's not all about money. And the less I thought about money, the more money I made. And I will tell this story. Say
that one more time.
The less I thought about money, the more money I made. So my passion made its own money. Like, I literally, when I interned, I'll tell you a story. Like, there wasn't like, I didn't have a lot of money because I was dedicating it to college, and I was interning, spending all my hours at work. So I'm at, you know, BT, and somebody was trying to get into 106 in Park. So I was like, just being the intern that I was, like, are you guys okay? Is everything all right? They're like, we can't get in. They're all flustered. And I was like, well, let me speak to this person. I know they deal with this, and, you know, I'm sure they can help you. And I just connected the 2 people. And then one day I'm just sitting there, and I'm so hungry when, like, you know, the next day, because I didn't have any money for food. So I got like a hot dog or something like that. I go back into my supervisor's office, and she's like, somebody left a card for you. So I opened the card. The card had $200 in it for saying thank you for helping me out.
What?
And the person who I helped out actually was a friend of, Stevens, who's the president of BET, and I had no clue, and they gave me money, and I didn't even think about. I was still happy. I wasn't like, oh, I can't eat. This sucks. I was just like, I'm gonna just keep working. I'm hungry, but I'm gonna keep working.
Yeah.
And God spoke through somebody to give me that money so that for the rest of the month I wouldn't have to worry about being hungry again.
Wow.
And I didn't worry once. I just had faith, and said, I'm doing what I love, and the rest will figure itself out.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So far the key is just like do what you love.
Absolutely.
Do what you love. And I feel like it's something that a lot of people are told. We hear it all the time, but not many people follow suit.
Right.
So what is one thing, what do you know now about the industry that you wish you knew when you first began?
Okay, so in terms of the industry, politics is important, and people don't realize how important politics are. You can't just step on people's toes. You can't just say whatever you feel.
Right.
You can't just be emotional in the workplace. And not that I was that, but I was very aggressive in terms of this is right and this is what's wrong.
Right.
So if anybody did wrong, I would be like, okay, this is what I need to do, and I need to tell them that they're wrong.
Right.
But you can't always work in that way.
Right.
Sometimes you have to go through somebody higher to deliver that message, and I didn't know that to begin with, and it's just important to know who's who, what not to say, what to say, how to polish yourself. Also, like, in terms of how I dressed, when I first started in business, like, I didn't think I wanted to go to the corporate side. I was like, I'm gonna do more production.
Right.
But my brain just empowered me to be on the more business side of things.
Right.
As well as production. So I was like, I need to clean it up a little bit. I need to, like, get my image together. I need to stop walking around like this is, because we're in a comfortable environment. That's been the biggest lesson. I hope, it takes growing up, because you grow up when you start that early.
Right.
So you learn that, but that was polish yourself. Like, it's everything. It's the look. It's how you speak. It's how you carry yourself. It's what you do. It's how you do it. So that's the most important thing. I wish I would have known that, because I would have came in off the gate, or I would have continued,
Right. You would have definitely continued.
Yeah.
But probably started at a different level.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, just to bounce off of the whole, dressing, outwards appearance thing. So, being in a comfortable environment, when you dress up and you dress differently than everyone else, people may say like, oh, Nneka think that she all that, or you got a job interview today, or where are you going? Why you doing too much? So, how do you stand firm in, like, just dressing professionally, or just, polishing yourself up without making your coworkers, feel like, they're less than?
It's so funny. I had a conversation with one of my bosses, and it was like, he told me, don't dumb yourself down for anyone.
Right.
I feel like you're bringing yourself down to relate to a certain culture, and you don't have to. You can still be you within that culture. And I really didn't pay much attention to what people thought. I think because people already have so much to say about you, in terms of, like, I get a lot of questions about my sexuality in the workplace and how that, just because I may dress differently than other women do. And I just keep smiling. You get a lot of hate, when you're trying to elevate yourself in all aspects. Aspects, like, that's at home, at work, wherever. Right. And so when people would hate on me or, try to do something to sabotage, I'll just smile and I'll be so kind. Right. And, like, no matter how much you think somebody is not feeling you or they're intimidated by you, just be like, well, I hope you have a nice day. Yeah. And then when you elevate each time, they either break down that barrier. They can never say this person was rude to me or, this and that happened. So I deal with people. I treat everybody the same. I treat everybody with respect, with professionalism, and they deal with their own things, and I just keep it very professional. Very, very professional at all times.
So everyone has career lows. And sometimes, especially with the rise of social media, you know, social media is everyone's highlight reel.
Right.
So what would you say was your last career low, and how did you recover from it?
What I considered a career low may not be what it is to others, but there was a time I worked in music specials, and then there would be like a time where we wouldn't have like a lot of shows going on until the middle of the year.
Right.
So I felt like I'm wasting away until like the middle of the year, you know, like what am I really doing, you know?
Right.
So, you know, those times is when I would do the motivational speaking tours and try to help people, or I would, you know, part of it is me saying like, you know, I was a coordinator, so I worked with a lot of people and I got a lot of things together, and I, you know, made things happen.
Right.
But I wasn't an editor who specifically edited something, or, you know, a shooter who shot something. So it was almost harder to justify my value. And you start to question like, well, am I valuable? Because I know I'm working, I know I'm doing stuff, but am I valuable? So in that, you know, I would think that the lowest that I had was just with, you know, the shows not coming as frequently as they were before. But and also try to get a promotion sometimes, you know, like when you're trying to get a promotion and they're like, well, I think you should do this and I think you should do that. But that low point was the best part of my career, because that was the transition. It was like, your career is not in your boss's hand. It never is. A lot of people wait for their boss to say, you're promoted.
Right.
I'm not like somebody who sits and waits. I'm like, you know what? I can't have any idle time. What can I do that's productive, that will advance my career, because my career is up to me?
Right.
So I took that, and that's part of where the documentary came from. It was like, okay, you guys are not doing those shows now. I'm going to start doing something right now that's going to fill my creativity, that's going to fill my heart, that's going to help other people, and that's going to help me get even more experience so that I can come back and be like, look what I did. You know? I you know, there's plenty of value here.
Right. I can't wait to get in. We're going to definitely talk about the documentary in the second segment. But I think just, you know, I agree with everything that you said, and I think that a lot of times people just give away their power. So you right there, I feel like you just thank her, you know, tweet her at or Instagram her at Nikes_Nay, because that was how you go in and talk about how you would like to receive a promotion, or what can you know, not only ask for what you want, but be proactive and like getting there. Don't like, I deserve this. You know, what's the next steps? So with that being said, what would you say is the career moment that you're still waiting for?
The career moment that I'm still waiting for is when I never have to have a resume. That's my plan for next year. Now, you're seeing this year. Next year, I'm telling you,
I'm going to put this up as a throwback Thursday this year.
It's in the universe right now. I'm not going into an interview with my resume. It's going to be like, we know what this girl is capable of.
Right.
This is her work. Call my production company if you want to do it. I don't want to have to ever go with the resume again. That's my plan. Right.
And I know that you mentioned off camera that you do plan or in the process of starting your own production company. Mm-hmm. Does it have a name or anything?
Yes, it's Nneka Productions, Nneka, my name. And I'm gonna start, producing my own documentaries and my own short films. Through my company.
Wonderful. And so lastly, do you use social media in any way that is particularly unique to help further develop your brand?
Absolutely. I use social media as a conduit to my soul. I want people to know that the work that I do is a part of me. I do stuff. I'm helping because it's in my heart to want to help people.
Right.
So any programming that I do, any uplifting, it's me. It's a part of me. And I want to give people a piece of me in my work, and I want to get some of them as well, because that's what, makes me feel self-actualized, when people are happy and they're growing and we're growing together and they feel like they can relate, you know, to me in some way. I want everyone to feel like they can do it, you know, just how I did it, you know, and how I'm doing and how I'm continuing to grow. I just enjoy people. I'm very much a people's person.
Yeah.
So I use that. Obviously, I put some of the documentary up there, and, you know, I kind of show them my life, you know, the hard work that goes into making television, you know, the ups and downs. I put, you know, pretty much everything there, and, you know, it just in its honesty, and just so that people can start to see, like, there's positive people out there. It's not all about, like, you know, the ratchet stuff and fighting and cursing people out online. I'm not for that. You know, I'm for change and just making everything a better place. I don't mean to sound like a, you know, a pageant girl, but I genuinely feel that,
right?
You know, and God is another thing. You know, God is a part of my brand.
Right.
That's my man.
I love that. You got so many quotables here. God is a part of my brand. I'm gonna put them into my little Neffy notes. Send them out there to the universe.
So, I think the most difficult thing, actually, out of everything in the documentary was what was going on with me personally. You know, someone in my family, very close to me, got diagnosed with cancer.